Hi everyone, Jen here from Memory Keeping with Jen. I hope you're doing well. I am coming to you today with another episode of my year in review scrapbook album layout. This is going to be a 2-page layout. As similar to the last one, if you watched my last video, I could have done 4 pages. I had enough photos in this particular event to do 4 pages. The photos I'm using today are my son's very first attempt at fishing. He was 3.5, 4 years, I think he was 4 years old. Some of the pictures I have are him actually, with his dad, in the fishing pole, and some are just of the bobber in the water, and I don't really need those photos. My 2011 album is getting really, really full. So I'm starting now to be a little bit more, I'll say, particular about the photos that I'm going to put in, because I don't want it to end up being 5 albums. And as of right now, I think it's going to be at least 4. So we'll see. But so what I have today, I am not using a specific sketch or layout. I'm actually using, I kind of sketched it out myself. It's something that I found, I think, on Pinterest. There's no measurements or anything. It was just the photo placements, and I took a shot of it. It's saved in my Pinterest file. I'll try to remember to share it here if I can. Share it on my Pinterest page. If you don't follow me on Pinterest, it's Memory Keeping with Jen, just like this channel, as well as my Facebook page. It was a great layout, and it looked super easy, and I was like, oh, and it has, so I had 6 photos for one page and 4 photos for the other, and you'll see why there's a difference when I get to them. But so the layout that I found has 5 photos, but it can be modified for both pages. So I'm going to use 5 photos on this side. I took 1 photo out, and then I'm going to have 4 on the right side. As I was going through my papers to try to decide, because again, there's a lot of green. It's outside, it's fall, so I was like, all right, I'm going to use green. I usually don't like to use the same color paper and backgrounds that are in my photos. I like to kind of bring a little bit of color out, and I am going to do that, but with my punch. So today I have my 2 13-inch mats. I have my 12-inch trimmer. I have my decorative trimmer. I have my Friendly Fish decorative border punch. This is super cute. I have used this before on vacation, in a vacation album. I think it was my Aruba album that I did. I have my 2 tape runners, my photo trimmer. I do have my multi-purpose tool. And of course I have my scissors, which I see are a little bit dirty. So as I was going through trying to find the papers, I found I have 1 sheet left of this fish paper, and it literally goes perfectly with my photos. But I only have 1 sheet, because at first I was like, oh, I'll use it as my background. I must have another sheet somewhere. This is the former Close to My Heart. I love, love, love their papers. I'm so sad when they went out of business. I just love their coordinating sets that they had. They worked well. And I don't remember which set this was from. It was probably from, I had a coworker that was a CTMH consultant, and I got it from her. I think I was pregnant with my 2nd son, so it was probably 14 years ago. That's a common theme. If you watch my videos, I will commonly or very often say, oh, this is probably 15 years ago. Oh, this is probably 20 years old. Oh, this is probably 10 years old. A lot of my stuff is really old. But I will say, and I've said it over and over again, I'm so happy using this stuff, right? Like I have so many great pieces and great items that I've either forgotten about or just overlooked, as I've been scrapbooking. And as I'm holding myself accountable to do more and more pages this year, I'm going through more and more stuff, right? I don't have an unlimited budget. I can't just go and buy whatever I want. you know, to coordinate with my pages. So I'm trying to get a little bit creative, and I'm trying to use the stuff that I have. So I only have one page of this. So I decided, I found another page, 2 pages. I don't think, no, these are definitely not from the same collection. I will probably never ever use this side of the paper. So I'm grateful that it's double-sided. So this is going to be my base pages. And then I'm going to cut a design on this. This is going to go on the bottom. And then my fish, you ready for this? This is where I'm going to get my color from. I found that I have these tonal shimmer, what was it called? Sample pack. So I'm going to punch my friendly fish with these colors because they actually match in here. Maybe not so much this one. There is a blue in the pack as well that I may get out instead, but I really like this color. So I think I'm gonna punch my fish these 3 colors and see how it goes. And then I'm gonna kind of layer them and see what goes on. So that's my thought as far as getting color and the background in my papers. And then the other part of the layout is the photos are all matted, and the 2 larger photos are double matted. So I found these that I had, I think these are, let me see. I think they're Bazil. Yeah, I still have the sticker. Monochromatic, again, super old. I actually remember buying these at one of my local scrapbooking stores that has now since closed. It was such a great store. I don't know why I bought them. I don't have 8x8 albums. I don't ever use 8x8 albums. But I have them, so I think they're going to be good photo mats. I think I have enough for the photo mats, you know, the number of pictures that I have. Hoping that I have enough. So we'll see. But when I get to that point, then I'll figure it out. So I'm going to start by cutting my fish because I know it's going to make a mess. And I'm not even going to lay out my base papers until I cut out my fish. So this is one of the punches that has the lines on the front and on the right on the inside. So you can see, so it might be kind of hard to see. So it's right there and then also right there on the inside. So you know where to line up your paper. So I only want to do 4. Well, I guess maybe not. I would say I only want to do 4 fish borders, and then I'll alternate them. But with having, you know what, let me get the blue. I am going to do 4, and I think I'm going to alternate. So I'll do 2 colors on one page and then 2 colors on the other page. I think that's kind of my plan at the moment. Obviously things could change. You never know. And I like the tonal for the fish, the sparkle, shimmer, excuse me, the shimmer for the fish, because I feel like when you're looking underwater at fish, they look a little sparkly sometimes. And these colors, they just go with, they just go with my fishy paper. And it punched very clean. So I'm just gonna set these aside. Get rid of my scraps so they don't get clogged. And I'm just gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna cut with each of them. And I'm gonna speed up the video so you don't have to watch and listen to every single punch. I think I have it down. I think I'm good with that. Now I'm going to cut the bottom of my paper. I do want to use, I'm going to use the decorative trimmer. I want to make it a little bit wavy. I just got to figure out which way my blade comes off here. Here we go. And I want it to be probably, I'm thinking like 3 inches. Yeah, definitely 3 inches. Let me mark where I want to cut on this side. I want to have enough room for my fish. So if I do, and I'm going to alternate my fish like that. Something like that. Or do I want to do it like that? I almost feel like I want to do them like that. So I might trim my fish. If I cut it at 3 inches, I think that'll be good. Okay. So I'm going to cut it at 3 inches. And obviously that's just the end line. That's going to be 3 inches. And I'm just looking to see if the fish can be flipped upside down or not. I think they can. Actually, they cannot, because I'm looking at their fins. So I am going to, I don't really want it to be curved on the bottom. I want to have the straight edge. So I'm going to trim the bottom of this off. And then do another 3-inch cut. Just double checking. That's where I want my cut. Making sure I'm not messing up on my paper design. Many a times I have cut, I've looked at it, and then I went ahead and still cut the pattern out wrong. It's very frustrating when that happens. And considering this is the only piece of paper that I had with fishies on it, I did not want to mess that up at all. Okay, I'm gonna put this down. So I am gonna do this all part first, and then I gotta figure out my photos. Again, I don't have the measurements, so I kind of have to just wing it. I kind of know what they'll be, but I'm not 100% sure. And now I'm just deciding now which way I want to put my fish, how I want to overlap them. I feel like I kind of want to maybe do it that way and kind of, I hate cutting off a fish, but do I want to have them both like that? But then you can't see the fish on the paper. I almost feel like, I wonder what it would look like if I kind of cut around it and had 2 separate pieces of fish, like 2 different colors, because I do feel like maybe they should go opposite directions. But I guess maybe they don't have to. I mean, I can kind of overlap them. That's not the color I wanted to use. I want to use this gold with the like purple-ish, and then the blue and copper. I don't know. It just feels like it's kind of a lot to me like that. So maybe what if I do it more like literally like a shadowy kind of fish, and then make this like the copper kind of makes the fish look like it's a shadow. Should I do it the other way? The blue, the shadow? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I think the blue should be the shadow on that one. And on this one, I'm gonna make the gold the shadow. But I need the fish to go the same direction. Yep. Okay, that's how I'm gonna do my fish. I feel like I should just lay them down now as I then figure out my photos. So I'm gonna do that and then figure out how I'm gonna do my photos. I will use my mini tape runner for these. And I'm not putting tape on every fish. I'm gonna do like every few fish. I mean, it's gonna stay. I don't need to go overboard with the tape runner. And my tape runner is not really working that well lately. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's just getting to the end, if it's old. I've never had to replace one of these housings on these before, but I have heard that they get gunked up and jammed, which I don't really understand considering the whole thing comes out with the tape when it's empty, but I don't know. What do I know? I guess it could be the wheel itself on the inside or something. I'm not really sure. My little fishies. When the kids were little, I have 2 stepdaughters as well. So we are a blended family, 4 kids. And when they were little, my youngest was, he was 3.5 when we started dating. Almost 4, I think. No, he just turned 4 when we started dating. Anyway, when we would go on vacation or anywhere really, I always would call them my ducklings. My 4 little ducklings. They're not ducklings anymore. I probably haven't called them that since the last time all 6 of us went on vacation, which that was in 2021. Was our last full family vacation while the oldest was still in high school. Then once she went off to college, our family vacations became a party of 5 because we still went during the other kids' spring break, and she didn't want to go, which is fine. We gave her the choice. We told her, you know, if her classes would allow, she could talk to her professors, and we even offered her, you know, just to come for part of the time, but she didn't. But anyway, I think that was our 2021, I think, was the last time I was able to refer to all of them as my little ducklings. I need to find a duck punch, so when we do things, go places, or when I scrapbook our things, I have them. Okay, those are the photos I'm going to use. So I'm kind of looking at it and I see that it looks like the top 2 are definitely bigger than the smaller ones. So just from doing other layouts, I think these photos on the bottom need to be 3 by 3. Although I might be able to get away with 3.5 by 3.5. I'm going to start bigger, although then these have to be 4. And those will go all the way to the edge, and I don't know that I want to do that. All right, let me find my photo mats here. You know, I'm going to start with with 4 inches for my photo mat and just kind of see what it looks like. I think they're going to be too big. It's going to go all the way to the edge of the paper, and I don't really want that. Oops, I did not cut that one all the way. So yeah, if I did 4, they literally are hanging off. So I think I'm gonna, all right, this is gonna be a pain, but I'm gonna do 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. I'm gonna trim each one just a little bit. And I'll put them on this side instead to see how they look. Because I don't like cutting a lot off of my photos. I mean, obviously I know I have to, but I try not to cut too much. And actually I only need 3 because I forgot the photos on this side are going to be different sizes. So, all right, if I do 3 3/4 for my photo mats, that could potentially work. Okay. And then up top, so this is 4. And if I want 2 layers, I did 6 1/4. I'm sorry, I'm like really totally talking out loud for all of this right now. Just trying to figure it out. So I'm going to start with 6 1/4. By 4 1/4 again, because it's going to be double layered. So if I do 6 1/4 by 4 1/4 on the bottom layer, then I could do 6 by 4 on the next layer, and then I could do my photo at 5 3/4 by 3 3/4. 6 by 4. And then my photo, this photo is going to be 5 3/4. And I'm just going to use my paper trimmer. I know you're not supposed to, but it's not recommended to use your paper trimmer because it dulls the blade faster. 5 3/4, which it's about, oh, it's, why does it look like, it's so strange to me that these just aren't full. It really just needs to be trimmed so little. Like 1/8 of an inch. It's such an odd size to me. All right, that's perfect. Perfect. Okay, and now the other one is going to be a little bit smaller than that. But what size? Let me cut my photo first. This one I'm going to cut first, and then I will layer it from here once I know what size my photo is going to be. I think I want to do 4 1/2. I think that's just going to be a little bit. What size are these again? I forget. 3 3/4. All right. What did I say? I did 3. I do need the same width It needs just to go off 1/4 of an inch. Right? Yeah, okay. I feel like I want it to be just a little bit less than that. Let's see, what size is this right now? 4 1/2. So I might do 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. Yep, okay. 4 1/4. I'm probably gonna forget. I should just write this down because I'm not gonna remember. 4 1/4 by 3 3/4. Okay, so I need my background. This one I need to be, oh, I wrote down 4 1/2. Is it 4 1/2? Ay, ay, ay. No, it's 4 1/4. So this needs to be 4 3/4. By 4 1/4. That does not look right at all. Yes, it is. Okay. And this is not staying on the right side of the page. This page is going on this side. I'm just putting it here right now while I figure out my layout. All right, and then what did I say? I need it 4 by 4 1/2. Four, oops, by, why am I not thinking that's correct? 4 3/4? No, 4 1/2. Ay, ay, ay. That's 4 3/4. Ooh, I think I'm like super tired tonight. I cannot get my math for anything. Holy cannoli. There we go. Phew. Even writing it down, I didn't get it right. Okay. Now I have to figure out, so that's gonna end up going right there. All right, might as well just move this over now. That's gonna go there. That's gonna go right there. And now the question really is this the size I want these photos to be? And I think it's no. I think I want to trim them another 1/4 of an inch because I want these to kind of line up with this. And this one's just like, it's about a 1/2 an inch too big. So I think if I trim them all a 1/4 of an inch, I can, and then just space them a little bit more. So I'm going to do that. I think they're currently 3 1/2. So if I do them 3 and, yeah, they are, oh, they're 3 3/4. So I'm going to do them 3 1/2, and then I'll do my photo at 3 1/4. And then I think that'll give me the spacing that I want on the page. Much better. And I have a little bit of, okay, that's perfect. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and adhere this stuff down now. And then I'm gonna cut the photos that I'm gonna put on here. And I'm putting this down because I don't wanna lose where I want it. This originally should go like right. And I'm trying to use the ruler guides to line up where I want everything. I haven't done a double mat layout in a long time. I actually like the way they look. I feel like it gives it a little bit of a dimension. And it's just not the same old boring single mat behind the photo. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I like to mix it up once in a while. It just takes a little bit extra time to double mat, obviously. It just takes a little extra time to double mat. And I don't always have the room on the page to double mat either. Depends what else is going on the page, I suppose. But for this particular one, I did like it. Okay. Let me find my other photos for here. Where did I put them? I've got a lot of stuff going on my desk right now. All right, these need to be 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. Perfect. Let's see. I'm just looking to see. I kind of want to put them in order of what's happening in the photo. So I think this is going to be the best. Order here. And I'm waiting on this page. So normally I do them both at the same time, but I'm waiting on this page because it's going to be a little bit different because I only have 4 photos. And they're going to be a little bit different sizes. So I think more what I'm going to do is do 2 this size, the larger size, and then 2 a smaller size, 2 like this. And I'm thinking about, as I'm doing these ones, I'm thinking whether or not I'm going to double mat any of the photos on that side. And I think I might. I think I might double mat the larger one. No, I think I'm going to double mat the smaller ones. I'm going to double mat the smaller one and not the larger one. But then they're going to be different sizes. Dilemma, dilemma, dilemma. I am not sure what I want to do. Let's just double mat them all. I have enough paper. But do I want to use different colors? That's the other question. Do I want to use the same colors? Ooh, I don't have enough. I don't have enough of all of them. I would need 4 sheets of each. And I have 1 of that one. I do have 4 of this really, really light one, which I wasn't really planning on using, which I could do maybe this way or this way. I'm just kind of looking to see the photos that I have if I'm gonna double mat them, which way I would like the colors to go. And I think I would like the darker on the bottom. I can already tell that. And this one, this is funny. I don't know if you can see on here. It's discolored from the label that was in the pack. I guess it must have been in the sun at some point. But this is the side that's got the texture on it. So if I cut it, 1, 2, 3, you're not gonna see the same texture, or you're not gonna, the whole thing is a totally different color. Oh, that's interesting. Look at that. It's not this side that's discolored, it's all the edges that are discolored. Oh, I could probably cut the middle out because that's about the size that I'm going to need, I think. Yeah, okay. Now, see, I should have wrote it down because now I already don't know what sizes I need because I wanted to match these ones here. So, I will get out my ruler somewhere. I'll use this one. And I need, let's see, 6 1/4. Okay, I have to measure. The outer is going to be 6 1/4 because I already forgot what it is. And this is what happens by 4 1/4, it looks like, by 4 1/4. And that means the inside is going to be 6 by 4. 6 by 4, and then 5 3/4 by, I just keep reducing it by 1/4 of an inch. But as I started to say, this is what happens when I do a layout that doesn't have actual sketches with numbers. I go ahead and do it myself, and then I forget. So 6 by 4 and 6 by 4. Okay, so I actually already, these are both, what? These don't look right. Are these the same size? Nope, this one's just a little bit too big. Like 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so those kind of looks too big, but look, all right, let me measure it with this. No, okay, we'll see. And then I need 6 1/4 by 4 1/4. 6 1/4. Unless I can only get one out of 4 1/4. Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and put that down now. And then I guess I'm just going to do the back side of this. This is the, actually, wait, I might be able to use the inside of it. And I check my measurements. 6 1/4. I have a whole bunch of scrap paper that's going to be left over from all of this. I have another little container that I put smaller scraps in. That's where this is going to go. It's actually like an old an accordion file. That's crooked. And I have my scraps in there filed by color. So I'll just stick it in the green part. So these are going to be bigger, obviously, than the other page. Let's see. And then the other side. Oops, these ones are. This ruler that I have is totally off. Like really bad. There it goes, 4 3/4. This is the outer, 4 3/4 by 4 1/2. So let me see if this, or is it this one here, how big this is. It's 4 1/2 4.5. So I'll end up using the back side. It's a little bit different, but it's fine. So that's gonna go, why is that way too big? What happened there? All right, I messed up somewhere. Just my length is it's like 1/4 of an inch too big. So I did 4.5 by 4 3/4. No idea what I did. Oh, 4 1/4. Huh. 4 1/4. Okay. That's better. 4 1/4. Silly pencil mark. 4 1/4 by 4.5. Phew. Okay. I'm struggling tonight, folks. I don't know why. All right, and then this one here. 4 1/4 by 4. I use this color report. I'm just looking to see if I already have a scrap somewhere, because I'm definitely getting a lot of scraps from this. Not that I really like that, but I'll use them at some point. I don't think it's the same size. Oh, perfect. Okay. And now my photos need to be, let's see, 4 1/4. So that's 4 by 4 1/4, and then 3 3/4 by 4. And I don't want to use this. 3 3/4 by 4. Oh, this is going to be one of the bigger ones. So this one is going to be 5.5 by 3.5, I think. I think that's right. Let's see. Oh, I did it a little bit too small. Should have known. I only need to trim off like a very, very like 1/8 of an inch. Maybe it's 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, that's better. Okay. I did get the top part right. Yep. Okay. Got that, and then 3 3/4 by 4. Woohoo, I got one right. Okay. Whew, I really struggled with the measurements on this one. So I really apologize for that. I definitely think if I did this one again, I'll have to obviously write it all down ahead of time. And I think when I'm done, I probably will go ahead, because I did like this layout, so I'm going to take my little sticky note and make it bigger, and I'll actually do the measurements and write them down. And then I'll put them in my binder that I have with other layouts. So I will draw a little sketch, not that I can draw, but so that I know. So, and if you're interested in the measurements of this layout, please comment below, and I will be happy to post them. But just let me know. I probably won't post them unless you ask for them. So. Overall, though, other than the measurement issues, I'm really happy with the way this came out. Both sides, even though it's a little bit, you know, different on one side than the other. Obviously, it's all the same event. If you're wondering about the dog in the photo, so if you can see that, I'm not sure. Little dog, he was kind of cute. His name is Murphy, was Murphy. So when we did this fishing event, a friend of mine used to live on a little pond, and she invited us over for the day to go and attempt to teach my son how to fish in the pond. So we got to visit with her, and the boys got to interact with the dog, because we didn't really have anybody in our family that had a dog. So it was good for that. Okay, I think that's it. I do like how the layout came out. I just wish I had the measurements done. That kind of threw me off a little bit. I'm still a little bit off about that, but I'll get over it. And I think that's it. So let me know your thoughts. I hope this gives you a little bit of inspiration, and just goes to show that, you know, if you kind of put a little bit of thought and work into it, that you can recreate another sketch or something that you see online without having all the measurements, and you can adapt, right? That's what scrapbooking is all about. It's about adapting, and sometimes we have to pivot. And tonight I had to pivot. So I'm looking, even as I'm looking at this now, I see that, you know, I still didn't cut these mats right. They're not as even as these ones are. Whatever, it is what it is at this point. I'm not going to go back and fix it. I could, like, this one's just probably 1/8 of an inch too big. This one looks perfect. This one looks perfect. This one is off. This one is off, but whatever. I'm not going to fix it right now. I'm just going to kind of leave it and run with it. But that's what, you know, it's not perfect. And I've said before, my pages aren't going to be magazine worthy. I'm not expecting them to be magazine worthy. I'm not trying to get them to be magazine worthy. It's about the memories that are in the pictures, the people that are in the pictures. You know, I don't think my kids are going to go through and be like, Mom, how come you have more green on that photo than that one? That's just not them. If anything, they'll want to know why my fish are different colors. In all honesty, that's what they're going to ask me about. Mom, how come you got different color fish? But I think that's about it. So thank you so much if you made it this far. If you made it through my measuring struggles, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate you sticking in there with me and not giving up on me while I fumbled around. If you'd hit that like button, and if you haven't already subscribed, if you could hit that subscribe button, that would be awesome. I love seeing all your comments and responding, and I get excited. I check my phone a couple times a day to see if anybody's commented, and it's exciting. Like, I feel like I'm making new friends by talking to y'all. So thank you so much for that. I greatly appreciate it. And happy scrapbooking. Take care.